Good afternoon, and welcome to the 2025 commencement ceremony for Salisbury Academy. We are honored to have you with us for this historic celebration. Please rise as we begin our ceremony with the processional of our distinguished faculty and the graduating class of 2025, and remain standing for the singing of our national anthem. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave for the land of the free and the home of the brave? You may be seated. Good afternoon, everyone. It is with great pride and excitement that I welcome you to a truly historic occasion, the very first graduation ceremony of the Salisbury Academy Upper School Class of 2025. Today marks not just a personal milestone for our seniors, but a defining moment in the life of our school. In just 2 short years, Salisbury Academy has grown from a bold vision into a thriving community. And now, for the first time, we have the privilege of celebrating our very first graduating class. We are honored today to welcome a number of special guests who have supported us through this journey and who are joining us now to celebrate this incredible milestone. Please help me welcome Beverly Fowler, Salisbury Academy Head of School, whose vision and leadership made the upper school possible. Dr. Tice, Catawba College Senior Vice President and Chief Strategy Officer. Meredith Williams, Salisbury Academy Upper School Head. Allison Bowden, Salisbury Academy Director of Admissions and College Counselor. Members of our exceptional faculty and staff who have guided and inspired our students every step of the way. And of course, the parents guardians, family members, and friends whose encouragement and love have been the bedrock of our success. Thank you all for being here to witness this proud and historic moment. Let's celebrate the class of 2025, the first, the fearless, and the founders. It is now my pleasure to welcome a special guest from an institution that has been a key partner in our school's journey from the very beginning. Our collaboration with Catawba College has been a vital part of our academic offerings, providing our students with access to college-level learning and inspiring a culture of excellence. We are honored to have here with us Dr. Tice, Senior Vice President and Chief Strategy Officer at Catawba College. His leadership has helped shape the meaningful partnership we're so proud of today. Please join me in welcoming Dr. Tice to share a few remarks.
I'm a bit intimidated by the speakers already today, quite frankly, and the singing voice. It is a profound honor to join you all today for this historic moment. We've noted that already. The very first commencement of Salisbury Academy's upper school. It's hard to believe just a few years ago, the bold vision of an upper school at Salisbury Academy was simply just an idea, an ambitious dream not yet realized. And yet here we are. Here you are. The dream is not only alive, it is thriving. And I want to take a moment as we celebrate the graduates, before we do so, to express my deep appreciation to those who helped bring that dream to life in our community, and what an asset Salisbury Academy is to Rowan and Salisbury. As mentioned, to Beverly Fowler for her fearless leadership and enduring belief in what is possible, to Meredith Williams for guiding this upper school with thoughtfulness, creativity, and care, to the exceptional faculty and staff at Salisbury Academy who built not just a program, but a place of belonging, and to the Board of Trustees of Salisbury Academy for investing in a vision that will shape lives of generations to come. I'm grateful to have played a small role in this journey through this incredible and strong and evolving partnership between Salisbury Academy and Catawba College. And I must note, every time I see the Salisbury Academy bus on the Catawba campus, I have this tiny point of pride when that happens. And I'm humbled to stand here today before you, speaking to graduates of what was once a dream. Today, we celebrate not just a graduating class, but 4 extraordinary scholars and pioneers. To the class of 2025, Eve, Evie, August, and Noah, you are those courageous founders. You chose the road not yet paved. You helped shape a school that didn't yet exist in full form. You didn't just attend the upper school, you created that. And in and of itself is a remarkable legacy. Commencement speakers are often expected to share wisdom, to offer guidance to graduates as they take their next step. But the truth is, much of what I would say, you've already lived. You've earned this moment not just by completing the curriculum, but by demonstrating that the very lessons you most have been part. You've learned to go first, to be brave, to be resilient. You've learned to adapt, to lead, to support one another, and to stretch yourselves beyond what was comfortable or known. You've taken classes at Catawba College, led clubs, planned events, tackled real-world problems, and navigated new partnerships. You've become reflective designers of your own lives and future. You are living proof of Salisbury's Academy's mission in motion, to inspire a love of learning and prepare passionate leaders of integrity and purpose. And you've shown us what it means to lead with purpose, serve with heart, and explore with curiosity. When we think about legacies, we often think in decades or generations. But sometimes legacies are born in 2 short, powerful years. When 4 students dare to dream, build, and believe. Let me tell you what your legacy looks like. It looks like Eberly, a founder of the Junior Civitan Club and finding her voice as an advocate for community change and global understanding. It looks like Eve, bringing both creativity and compassion into leadership, whether planning prom or quietly supporting others with unwavering kindness. It looks like August, showing resilience, reflection, and grace, and proving that the strength of community can be both foundational and a launch pad. It looks like Noah, who blended curiosity with determination, pursuing real-world experiences and while excelling in college-level courses and showing that leadership can be both quiet and steady. You each have embodied and established the portrait of a graduate and of excellence that Salisbury Academy holds dear. Creative problem solvers, compassionate citizens, confident communicators, resilient learners, and purpose-driven leaders. As you go forward, you leave behind more than memories, you leave behind a blueprint. Future students will walk through the doors of the upper school and see your names, your photos, your impact, your future successes. But more importantly, they will inherit your spirit, the spirit of boldness, of humility, of possibility. So today, I won't send you off with advice as much as I will, but thank you. Thank you for reminding us that leadership is not about titles, it is about being the first to boldly believe and then do. Thank you for showing us that courage doesn't always roar like your Jaguar namesake. Sometimes it quietly walks into a new school and makes it home. And thank you for your legacy of light, which will illuminate the path for all who follow. Congratulations, class of 2025. The world is ready for your next chapter, and because of you, Salisbury Academy is forever changed for the better. Thank you, you bold, courageous pioneers. Never lose that. It will serve you well in this life. Thank you.
We have a few honors that we would like to distribute at this time. This year, we are privileged to recognize a recipient of the newly endowed Hope Rose Scholarship. This scholarship honors exceptional academic determination and consistent positive contributions to the Salisbury Academy community. Its namesake, Hope Rose, was a dedicated teacher, an advocate for education, and a steadfast believer in the power of building resilient students. After seeing our students' applications for this award, the scholarship sponsor decided to make 2 scholarships available this year. The first scholarship is $1,000 towards the Salisbury Academy tuition, and we are thrilled to award it to Baxter Heilig. Baxter has shown consistent academic determination, leadership in forming multiple upper school organizations, and most recently, he heroically navigated our van throughout Washington, D.C. Thank you, Baxter. We're honored to present a second award in the amount of $500 to Jalen Howard, whose resilience, passion for school spirit, and outgoing nature, and lovely laughter has made a lasting impact on all of us. Congratulations, Jalen. The Salisbury Academy Portrait of a Graduate reflects the holistic education that we strive to provide, and it includes 5 components. Each year, the faculty recognizes underclassmen who have shown distinguished merit in one of these 5 components. The first component is creative problem solving. That's our term that encompasses both critical thinking and the innovation needed to create elegant solutions. Creative problem solvers think deeply about challenges, ideate a variety of solutions, and consistently seek feedback to improve their prototypes. From strategies to attach jingle bell skirts to a giant puppet, to asking novel questions of presenters throughout the year, Georgia Heilig has shown creative problem solving from day 1 at the upper school. Her choices in creating her own personal life path embody the efforts of a creative problem solver. Georgia, we are thrilled to recognize you. As freshmen at the upper school, our students explore the hero's journey, a path of growth, perseverance, and triumph. True resilience is at the heart of the journey, facing challenges head-on, adapting when things don't go as planned, and staying true to oneself. It is our hope that students will carry a hero's mindset through their entire high school journey and beyond. This year, Levi Hoffman has shown that kind of resilience. From designing his own elective to build physical strength, which he did, and crafting and repairing many times a balsa wood glider, to creating a comfy room for all students to enjoy, Levi meets challenges with determination and heart. Levi, congratulations. The compassionate citizen component speaks to the ways that we interact with others. Our relationships are important both on a personal and community level. Listening with an open mind allows us to build empathy as a basis of this compassion. The faculty unanimously recognizes Grayson Gardner as an exemplar of compassionate citizenship. Grayson is genuinely kind and appreciative of all people. He embraces the unique qualities of others, showing consistent patience, grace, and gentleness with his peers. Grayson, thank you for being a compassionate citizen. A confident communicator is a student who expresses ideas clearly and thoughtfully, both in writing and speech, and listens with insight and intention. This year, the faculty honors Baxter Heilig as our confident communicator. Whether drafting the National Honor Society Constitution, presenting at the Junior Civitan Regional Convention, or sharing during chapel, Baxter communicates with clarity, purpose, and voice, consistently demonstrating both skill and understanding. Congratulations, Baxter. Our final component is the motivated student. And while academic success is often linked to high test scores or overall GPA, the true learning that we seek at Salisbury Academy is a messier, more courageous process. Motivated learners embrace mistakes, ask questions, and use feedback to grow. Most importantly, they use their knowledge to help others along the way. This year, the faculty chooses to recognize 2 students for this award. Both are constantly pushing themselves for greater academic challenges. Both are willing to help others through their academic challenges as well. And both show a love of learning that is at the heart of Salisbury Academy's culture. I'd like to ask Ruth Bardinas and Hope Thomas to join us on the stage for this presentation. listening, respect, and growth. Each week, our students recognize peers who embody these values during our Monday meetings. They got really sticky little stickers. Today, however, the Student Council presents our highest honor, the Valor Key Award, given to a senior who consistently exemplifies our values. All the upper school students were invited to nominate the peer that they felt was most deserving. Here are some of the things that our student body said of our Valor Key winner. This entire school year, she has been kind and supportive, always upbeat and happy. There's never been a time when I've seen her being negative or putting anyone down. She consistently shows respect for herself and the community by checking in with everyone. She always asks if we need help with any work. She provided fidget toys to help everyone focus, and she isn't afraid to ask for help when she needs it, leading by example. There is quite literally no one in this school that is more kind, they say. She gives endless compliments and even buys coffee for people. She has never caused a conflict or made me stressed. She's always been there as a good senior with advice, encouraging us to keep going. And she had an amazing show of skill at making prom awesome. Her artistic abilities are truly inspirational. We're proud to award the 2025 Valor Key to Eve Rich. Each of our seniors has achieved so much during their time in school, especially these 2 years of the upper school. And as we prepare to confer degrees on our first graduating class, I'm struck by how each diploma marks the end of a chapter, one that will live in the story of Salisbury Academy. But this is just one chapter in a much longer, exciting life story for our graduates. At the upper school, telling your story is a theme that we return to often through portfolios, exhibitions, senior defense nights, and personal statements. We've also read stories together, children's books that help us explore our virtues and ourselves. In our first year, the Velveteen Rabbit taught us about becoming real, that it takes time, courage, and vulnerability. We became a real school together, and each of you discovered new strength and depth in the process. This year, What to Do with an Idea reminded us that seeing things differently is powerful, that ideas when nurtured can change the world. I know each of you is ready to do just that because you already have. You helped shape the school from the ground up. As a small reminder of these lessons, I have a gift for each of you. Copies of these books that we've read together, plus one more, specially chosen by Ms. Williams. And finally, it hasn't escaped me that from the very beginning, our school's genesis, your names carried stories that I know well. And as I've come to know you, I realize that these stories aren't just familiar, they're fitting. And maybe you sense that too. Take Eve Rich, for example. Like Eve in the biblical story, she was the first. She was the first student in your class to tour the upper school. The first to envision what it would become. And the first to boldly carry an essay water bottle through the halls of her traditional school, already claiming a future not yet built. On that first visit, Eve and I talked at length about how this new school would be different. An Eden of sorts, a place shaped by kindness, inclusion, and purpose. And true to her word, Eve helped create exactly that. She didn't just imagine a better school, she built it. With courage, compassion, and quiet leadership, she set the tone for a culture that welcomes and uplifts everyone that walks through our doors. Noah. In the biblical story of Noah, Noah seems a little crazy. high school where you could have easily been at the top, for a school that didn't even exist yet, may have looked a little strange to others. But knowing you too had a vision, you led with conviction, even through seasons of uncertainty. And like your namesake, you built something lasting, an ark of your own. A school that is and will continue to be a place of refuge, hope, and educational opportunity for many to come. Eberly, Sara, Eberly, Lescoe. You're likely familiar with the story of Abraham, who God promised would be the father of many nations. However, his wife, Sara, was barren for decades, until at 90 years old, she gave birth to Isaac, whose descendants became the nation of Israel. Sarah's story reminds us that nothing is too big for God, and that our greatest challenges often become the most powerful parts of our story. Any barrenness of time, resources, or support does not scare you. Whether building a junior Civitan club from scratch, leading efforts to raise thousands of dollars for those in need, or stepping into international leadership, you take what little you have and multiply it with purpose. Your story, like Sarah's, is one of faith, perseverance, and impact. Proof that great things grow from unlikely beginnings. August Ruth Hoffman. Like Ruth in the Old Testament, you get your own story too. Ruth's story begins in deep hardship. After losing her husband, brother-in-law, and father-in-law, she's left with nothing except her mother-in-law, Naomi. And everyone urges her to return to her homeland, to start over, to leave the country. But Ruth chooses loyalty over ease, and she stays. And through hard, humble work and unwavering faith, she not only survives, she transforms her story. Ruth's strength leads to a provision, restoration, and extraordinary legacy, because her son, Obed, becomes the great-grandfather of King David in the very line of Jesus. August, like Ruth, you are steady and resilient. You have bravery to face big challenges, and your strength is greater than you may even realize. As you move forward, remember there's power in staying. May you continue to make bold, Ruth-like choices, and your journey lead to goodness, joy, and a legacy all your own. And now, having reflected on the stories that you helped write, the ones that are just beginning, we arrive at the long-awaited moment. It's the time to confer your degrees. As I call each graduate forward, they're going to receive their diploma, and then we're going to grant them the podium to share a few remarks. Congratulations, guys. I'm proud of you.
Our first graduate is Eve Victoria Rich. Thank you, and just to say, high school was hard. Freshman year, I didn't have the best mental state, and I didn't care. I didn't know my learning style, and I made bad decisions, but I know I wanted to change. That's when Salisbury Academy High came into play. I pushed to go, and I gave it a chance, and the first project that I had made my eyes open. It was the one drop in physics. I had a bumpy summer after the first year with therapy and lots of new ideas. But the start of my senior year was very easy. I had like 3 classes. That was awesome. But moving forward, I am so excited to take the reflection and the failures that I've been through at the school to Brevard College. I thank all of my seniors for being there for me. August, Noah, and Eddie, for not only being there for me, but being brothers and sisters in my line of learning. I thank my mom and my dad for supporting me in everything. I thank my grandmother and grandfather for housing me when I was sad. My Aunt Carrie to set expectations. My Aunt Danny to help me smile throughout the way. And finally, and most importantly, I thank my brother, Sam Rich, who's been not only a big expectation holder, I just love my brother. So I thank him for making me see the good in me. Thank you.
Next, we have Sara, Eberly, Lescoe.
I want to say thank you to my friends and my family for coming to support me and all of the other graduates as well. I know it means a lot. It's an honor to be a member of one of the first graduating classes. When I sat down to write this, I wasn't sure where to start, but I thought what better way than to share a memory of mine at Salisbury Academy. Something that might seem odd to others, but it's a bit of a tradition. It started 2 years ago when Miss Williams on the first day of school sat us down to read a children's book. She sat us down to read The Velveteen Rabbit, about a stuffed animal that, with enough love and attention, becomes real. She compared it to our journey here at Salisbury Academy, that with enough love and attention, we too would come to life and figure out who we are. Earlier this year, she read What's New with an Idea, a story about a boy who has an egg-shaped idea. At first, he hides it out of fear, but eventually he starts to nurture it, and with enough love, he grows to love the idea, and it hatches. Afterward, we connected this story to our value of the month at chapel, which was hope. I'll admit, reading picture books in high school may seem silly. I thought it was at first. But once you let go of what high school is supposed to look like, you really get to understand it's not just about what you learn, it's about how we learn it. And here at Salisbury Academy, we're given the space to ask those questions, to take risks, to read children's books, and take college classes in the same week. Here, it's not just about facts, we're taught to grow. We're taught that culture isn't just about what you do every single day, it's about how and why you do it. So our traditions, our values are what makes Salisbury Academy great. And I'm so grateful that I can be a part of this graduating class from a school where we're encouraged to grow, to stumble, to hope, and yes, to read a children's book. Thank you.
August Ruth Hoffman, graduating cum laude from, please come forward.
You are free, and that is where I feel we're lost.
I'm referencing Hoffman, I have particularly positive event may come across as morbid. However, this quote speaks to me. As we transition into a period of our lives with the absence of predetermined boundaries, a sense of disorientation may occur. It is crucial in these times we do not fall victim to our mind-floating beliefs. We are what we think. Our thoughts have the power to manifest into our greatest successes when we do not hold ourselves back. One of the most valuable tools Salisbury Academy is equipped us with is courage. As students, we are constantly exposed to new environments, and each one of us has learned to adapt. Most importantly, we have learned to seize the situation. We must use this courage on our newfound path of freedom to guide us. Freedom is not merely an absence of limits, but the presence of responsibility, choice, and autonomy. Thank you to my friends and family for supporting me through my high school career, and thank you to Ms. Williams, Ms. Fowler, and all the teachers at the Salisbury Academy Upper School for inspiring us, teaching us, and making this possible. Remember, you are not lost, you simply are not found. Thank you.
And finally, Noah William Bardinas, graduating student from Heilig.
Good afternoon, families, teachers, friends, and to my fellow graduates. Today we stand at the edge, marking not only our time here at Salisbury Academy, but the beginning of something much bigger. We are the first graduating class in the history of Salisbury Academy Upper School, and that fact alone is something worth admiring. But more than that, it makes it ours. We were the class who charted this path, and I believe it was a path worth following. The first time I walked through the doors to what would later be my new life, I never could have expected what this place would come to mean to me. This school has granted us more than a simple education. It has provided us a community, a foundation, and an atmosphere cultivating not only success, but opportunities to lead, to create, and to grow. In my last year at SA, I've come to realize this experience has been nothing short of transformative. This wasn't just a new school. It was a new way of thinking about education, and it was a place that we don't just learn, we grow as individuals, nurtured by an environment that genuinely cares about our development. We started clubs, shared our voices, and built traditions that will outlive our time. And as we take the next steps into our lives, I hope we carry these memories with us. But if I'm being honest, it took me a while to understand what truly mattered. In my freshman years and sophomore years at Carson High School, I measured my worth almost entirely by my grades. I clung to each number like it was proof of who I was. An A meant I was doing something right. Anything less felt like failure. I tied my value to performance so tightly that I began to confuse achievement with identity. I was exhausted, constantly chasing approval, straining under the weight of my own expectations. Convinced that the closer I got to perfection, the more secure my future would be. But what I didn't realize then was that this mindset was quietly shrinking my role. I became afraid to take risks, hesitant to ask questions, and too focused on being right that I was afraid to be curious. I was surviving, but I wasn't growing. And then, slowly, Salisbury Academy began to change that. It started with faculty who saw me not just as a student, but as a person, taking the time to learn my dreams and my aspirations. People who valued my questions more than my answers. Who cared less about whether I got it right, and more about whether I was taking advantages of the opportunities in front of me. It continued through the chances I was given. Moments that pushed me beyond my comfort zone, speaking in public settings, leading projects, and taking creative risks. These experiences taught me to be brave and to trust in my own voice. And somewhere along the way, I realized something powerful. My worth is not defined by a number. It's defined by how I show up, by how I respond to failure, by how I support others, by my integrity, my courage, and my willingness to grow. Today, I stand here no longer chasing the illusion of perfection, but instead, the next best thing, who I can become. Striving to be someone who learns from every experience, who takes risks, and who knows that progress, not perfection, is the true measure of success. So today, for every student still making their way through Salisbury Academy, don't be afraid of the challenges in life. Take the difficult classes, ask the bold questions, question, stumble, get back up, because every single day is a new opportunity to learn, so take advantage of it. The world won't ask you for your GPA, but it will ask you who you are. So spend your time becoming someone you're proud of. And to the younger students, those who still have years ahead of you, you are a part of something special. The school is growing, and you get to help write the next chapters. Share your ideas, lift each other up, and never stop being curious. And before I close, I would like to take a moment to acknowledge someone in particular. Someone who has been with us from the very beginning, who's wrote our schedules, wrangled us to get to class, and when necessary, held us accountable. Who celebrated our victories, who lifted our lows, but most importantly, someone who challenged us every step of the way to be the best versions of ourselves, even when we didn't believe we could. Ms. Williams, your vision, your patience, your unwavering belief in the school and in us has shaped everything we see here tonight. And on behalf of the entire Salisbury Academy Upper School, thank you for being our principal, our role model, our calendar, and now, for many of us, a friend. Thank you. And finally, to the class of 2025, our class, let us not just leave with diplomas, let's leave with purpose. Let's carry the lessons we've learned here today into all walks of life. Don't be afraid to fail, don't be afraid to try, but most importantly, don't be afraid to be yourselves. Thank you, congratulations.
Wow. I would say that a bold dream that we dared to dream just a few short years ago, and some courageous conversations with board members, future leaders, and families has paid off in a huge way. It's just such a proud moment to celebrate with each of you and to share in the special recognition of these graduates today. Seniors, you've been part of the foundation as Salisbury Academy Upper School students. From this day forward, you will be alumni. As a graduate, we look forward and we expect you to visit often and share with us your stories of success. Remember that you are always a Jaguar. Graduates, please stand and turn to face your families and friends. You may now move your tassels from right to left. I present to you the 2025 graduates of Salisbury Academy. Congratulations. Heilig to the stage to close us in prayer.
If everybody would please bow their heads for a moment of prayer. Kind Heavenly Father, we thank you for this day of joy, reflection, and new beginnings. As we celebrate these 4 graduates, we are grateful for the growth, the learning, and the love that brought them to this moment. Thank you for the families and friends, the teachers and mentors who have supported and encouraged them along the way. As they step into the next chapter of their lives, we ask that you guide their steps, grant them wisdom in their decisions, strength in times of challenge, and compassion in all that they do. May they carry forward the values they've learned here, and may your Spirit go with them wherever they may go. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand in honor of our graduates and faculty as they recess.